Namaste to all students. Khushro Bitia, myself JV and Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we are going to discuss about the nucleic acid. This session is belong to program MSc Microbiology second sem and MSc Biotechnology second sem for molecular biology course. So today we are going to discuss about nucleic acid. So first of all, we have to introduce about the brief history related to molecular biology. If we talk about the brief history, so in 1869, uh, DNA was isolated first from salmon sperm. It was discovered by the Friedrich Miescher, and in 1944 it has been proved that DNA is the genetic material by Avery and his colleagues. And in 1953, it was discovered that DNA is double helix by Watson and Crick. So Watson and Crick theory is very famous, and in 1968, it has been decoded about the genetic codes by the Nirenberg. In 1981, it has been invented that DNA sequencing has some methods by Gilbert and the Sanger. In 1987, Human Genome Project has been launched, and in 2001 it has been complete regarding the draft map of human genome. Now we are going to discuss about the nucleic acid. So nucleic acid are basically DNA and RNA. Full form of the DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid, and RNA full form is ribose nucleic acid. DNA and RNA are the polymer of the nucleotide unit. DNA and RNA consist four kind of ribonucleotide units linked together through covalent bonds. Each nucleotide unit is composed basically by three components. First one is pentose sugar, second one is nitrogenous base, and third one is phosphate group. There is some difference in between the terms. There are two terms. First one is nucleoside, second one is nucleotide. When pentose sugar is bind to the phosphate group, it is known as nucleoside. Uh, Pentose sugar is bind with the nitrogenous base, then it is known as nucleoside unit. And when phosphate group attached to this nucleoside, it becomes nucleotide. So this is the basic difference in between the nucleotide and nucleoside. Nucleoside is having only two components, pentose sugar and nitrogenous base. And on the other hand, nucleotide is having pentose sugar, phosphate group and nitrogenous base. So basic difference is phosphate group. Phosphate group will be present in nucleotide but will be absent in nucleoside. So if we talk about the nucleic acid, so if we talk about basically for the nitrogenous base, so there are two nitrogenous base categories. First one is the purine and second one is the pyrimidine. Purines are basically adenine and guanine, and about the pyrimidines it is cytosine, uracil and thymine. In DNA, only adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymines are present, but on the other hand in the RNA, adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil will be present, thymine will be absent. Here I am showing the structure. Here you can see that purines, adenine and guanine, these are double ring structures. On the other hand, pyrimidines are having only single ring structure. One basic difference about the pentose sugar, in RNA only ribose sugar will be present, but in the DNA, deoxyribose sugar will be present. And hydroxyl group will be basically absent at the second carbon structure. Here you can see the difference. In the ribose sugar, second carbon is having hydroxyl group. On the other hand, deoxyribose sugar is not having any hydroxyl group at the second number of the carbon. This is the ring form structures of ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar. As I have told you already in the previous slide, that nucleoside is having only ribose or deoxyribose sugar along with nitrogenous base. So these two components will prepare nucleoside and they will bind to each other, and nitrogenous base will be attached at the carbon number 1 of pentose sugar, and this bond is known as glycosidic bond. These are the detailed structures of adenosine. Like this is the pentose sugar, and nitrogenous base is binding with the pentose sugar, and because this is the adenine nitrogenous base, that's why this combined nucleoside structure is known as adenosine. On the other hand, nucleotide is basically nucleoside with one or more phosphate groups bound covalently to the third to 5' end at the second position. There are some different terms related to the base when nitrogenous base bind to the pentose sugar and becomes the nucleoside. So there are some different terminologies on the basis of different nitrogenous base. For example, if adenosine is binding to the ribose sugar, so it will be known as adenosine. On the other hand, adenine will bind to the deoxyribose sugar, so it will be known as deoxyadenosine. If guanine is binding to the ribose sugar, so it is known as guanosine. When it is going to bind with the deoxyribose sugar, so it is known as deoxyguanosine. Cytosine, if binding to the ribose sugar, so it is known as cytidine. If cytosine is going to bind with the deoxyribose sugar, so it is known as deoxycytidine. On the other hand, uracil, as we know, it is only present in the RNA. So when it is going to bind to the ribose sugar, so it is known as only uridine. On the other hand, thymine is only present in DNA. So when it is going to bind with the deoxyribose sugar, so it is known as deoxythymidine. This is nucleoside structures and their different names. When these nucleosides bind to the phosphate group, so terminology will be different. For example, adenosine, which is nucleoside, when it is going to bind with the 3 phosphate groups, so it is known as, now it is become nucleotide because it has been bind to the phosphate group. So adenosine will be become adenosine 5 triphosphate because 3 phosphate groups has been attached at the 5 number of carbon of pentose sugar. Short form of this terminology is ATP. A for adenosine, T for tri, and P for phosphate. On the other hand, if guanosine is going to bind with the 3 phosphate groups, so it will be become into the guanosine 5 triphosphate, which is GTP. Cytidine it is going to bind with 3 phosphate groups, so it is known as cytidine 5 triphosphate. Uridine, if going to bind with the 3 phosphate group, so it is known as uridine 5 triphosphate, means UTP. These are basically ATP, GTP, CTP and UTP are basically nucleotides which are involved in the preparation of RNA. Okay, because there is ribo sugar as a pentose sugar. But in case of a DNA nucleotides, so nucleoside which is deoxyadenosine. So when it is going to bind with the 3 phosphate group, so it will be known as deoxyadenosine 5 triphosphate, means DATP. D means deoxy, A for adenosine, T for tri and phosphate group. And for the deoxythymidine, so when it is going to bind with the 3 phosphate group, so it is known as deoxythymidine 5 triphosphate, means DTTP. So these are the different terminologies, and you have to learn about these terminologies because these terminologies are very important in the terms of competitive exam. It has been asked very frequently in previous competitive exams like NEET, like NET exams, so CSI, UGC, NET exam. These different terminology has been asked in the multiple choice questions. So again, I am trying to make you understand about the different terminologies or different categories of the nucleic acid. So nucleic acid is basically polymer of nucleotide units. So it can be like a garland of pearls. So pearls are known as nucleotides. Okay, and now we are categorize the nucleotide components. So nucleotide is basically product of binding phosphate group along with the nucleoside. Okay, means nucleoside when bind to the phosphate group, it becomes nucleotide. So now we have to categorize the nucleoside. So nucleosides are basically made up of two components, means pentose sugar and nitrogenous base. If we are talking about the DNA, so pentose sugar will be deoxyribose sugar. If we are talking about the RNA, so pentose sugar will be the ribose sugar. And if we talk about the nitrogenous base, so in case of DNA, there will be only adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. If you are talking about the RNA, so adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil will be the present. And one more basic difference in between the DNA and RNA, DNA is double helical structure, double strands, but in the RNA case, most of the RNAs are single stranded. If we talk about some important nucleotides like DATP, DGTP, DCTP, DUTP, uh, these are basically raw materials for the DNA biosynthesis, and on the other hand, only ATP, GTP, CTP and UTP, these four components are basically raw material for the RNA biosynthesis. These all currencies are basically energy donors, and important coenzymes which are required for the DNA and RNA biosynthesis are basically cyclic nucleotides, means CAMP and CGMP. These are basically secondary messengers also in hormone action. So these currencies are very important in the case of biosynthesis or signalic process. Now we are going to discuss about the nucleic acid derivatives. So multiple phosphate nucleotides are basically if adenosine, which is nucleoside, if it is having only one, it is going to bind only with the one phosphate group, so it is known as AMP, adenosine monophosphate. Mono means one phosphate group. If two phosphate group are going to attach, so it is known as adenosine diphosphate. If three phosphate groups are going to attach, so it is known as adenosine triphosphate. Now we are going to discuss about the structure and function of the RNA. So about the primary structure, so the base sequence or the nucleotide sequence in the polydeoxynucleotide chain. So the smallest DNA in the nature is the virus DNA, and the length of virus DNA is 5,386 bases in a single chain, and DNA length of the human genome is approximately 3 0 0 0 0 0 0 base pairs. Now again I am sharing this screen for making you understand about the basic difference in between the RNA and DNA. First basic difference is DNA is double helical structure. On the other hand, ribonucleic acid is single stranded structure. But you can see the difference. First difference is uh, here is ribose sugar body, which is having hydroxyl group at the second number of the carbon, but in the DNA second number of carbon is not having hydroxyl group, and this pentose sugar is deoxyribose sugar bond. First difference. Second basic difference about the nitrogenous base. Here you can see in the RNA adenine, cytosine, guanine and uracil. But on the other hand, deoxyribose nucleic acid DNA is having only thymine, guanine, cytosine and adenine. Main difference is basically this. RNA is having uracil and DNA is having thymine. This is the basic difference about the structure of RNA and DNA. Now, if we are going to discuss about the secondary structure, so secondary structure is defined as the relative spatial position of all of the atoms of the nucleotide residues. In the secondary structure, DNA is having only double helix structure. This model was given by Watson and Crick in 1953. The genetic material of all organisms except for some viruses and the foundation of the molecular biology. This is the basically foundation of the molecular biology. If we talk about the model of DNA double helix, so we can discuss more suitable form, which is B form of the DNA double helix. So this form is basically right-handed helix, means it will be turned approximately right-handed, and the diameter of the double helix is 2 nanometer. The distance between two base pair basically 0.34 nanometer, and each turn of the helix involved 10 base pairs of the range of 3.4 nanometer. Here again I am sharing the screen for making you understand. Here you can see basic diameter of two helix is 2 nanometer. This is one strand, this is second strand, and the diameter is 2 nanometer, and the distance between two base pair is means this base pair and this base pair distance is 0.34 nanometer. Okay, and each turn is having 10 base pairs of range 3.4 nanometer. And at the turn we are having two types of a groove. First is minor groove and second one is the major groove. You can see the depth of the groove. If depth is more, so known as major groove. If depth is not so more, so it is known as minor groove. Here you can see the groove binding. So small molecules like drugs bind in the minor groove, whereas particular protein motifs can interact with the major grooves. Now, if we talk about the conformation variation in double helical structure, so there are three types of forms of DNA. First one is the bDNA, aDNA, and third one is the zDNA. B form is basically the duplex structure proposed by the Watson and Crick is referred as the B form DNA. It is the standard structure of the DNA molecules. If we talk about the A form, so at low humidity, the DNA molecules will take on the A form. The A form helix is wider and shorter with a shorter, more compact helical structure than the B form helix. Third one is the Z form. The Z form is adopted by the short oligonucleotide. It is left-handed double helix in which backbone phosphates are basically zigzag. If we talk about the tertiary structure of the DNA, so it is basically supercoils. So DNA tertiary structure, which is supercoils, so double stranded circular DNA form supercoils if the strands are underwound, means negatively supercoils, or overwound, means positively supercoils. The DNA in a prokaryotic cell is a supercoil, and supercoil coiling process makes the DNA molecule more compact, thus important for its packaging in the cell. If we talk about the eukaryotic DNA, so DNA in the eukaryotic cell is highly packaged, and DNA appears in a highly ordered form called chromosomes during metaphase, whereas shows a relatively loose form of chromatin in other phases. The basic unit of chromatin is nucleosome, and nucleosomes are composed of DNA and histone proteins. Here you can see the nucleosome structure or composition, how nucleosome prepare. Here you can see the structure. This is basically DNA molecule, core DNA, and these are the histone proteins, which are H2A 2 molecules, H2B 2 molecules, H3 2 molecules, and H4 2 molecules. Total 8 molecules, which are octamers. They bind to the, or they wrapped by the core DNA molecule or thread. Now, this structure is known as nucleosome, and one nucleosome is bind to the another nucleosome by a linker DNA along with histone H1 protein. And the diameter basically is 11 nanometer, and the height is basically 5.5 nanometer. The chromosomal DNA, as you know, is complex with the types of the histone. As I already told you, H1, H2A, H2B, H3, and H4. And the histones are very basic proteins rich in arginine and lysine amino acids. Nucleosomes are basically regular association of the DNA with histones to form a structure effectively compacting DNA beads. This is the 3D structure of the nucleosome. Here you can see the octamer of H3 molecules, H2B molecules, H4 molecules, and this is the double stranded DNA thread. Here you can see the again how nucleosomes has been created. So these are the beads on a string. This is one nucleosome, this is second nucleosome. They are bind to the linker DNA of the nucleosome, and this is how electronic microscope images has been showed. These are the beads. This is the bead, and 146 base pair of negatively supercoiled DNA winds one 3 by 4 turns around a stone octamer. H1 histone binds to the DNA spacer. This is the length. This is DNA double helix of 2 nanometer, and this is the nucleosome which has been created, and this diameter is 11 nanometer. Now nucleosomes will be more compact and they will prepare the solenoid. 6 nucleosomes per turn. You can see this is 6 nucleosome, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and they create new solenoids of 30 nanometer. Now these solenoids will create the loops 50 turns per loop. Now they are going to create mini bands of 0.84 micrometer. Now these mini bands will compact in the form of chromosome, and the diameter is basically of one chromatid is 0.84 micrometer. So what is the importance of the packaging of DNA into the chromosome? So chromosome is a compact form of the DNA that readily fits inside the cell, and it is basically to protect DNA from the damage, and DNA in a chromosome can be transmitted efficiently to both daughter cells during the cell division, and chromosomes confers an overall organization to each molecule of the DNA, which facilitates the gene expression as well as recombination. If we talk about the function of the DNA, so the carrier basically it is the carrier of the genetic information and the template strand involved in the replication and transcription process. And if we talk about the gene terminology, so it is basically the minimum functional unit of DNA. If we talk about the genome terminology, so the total gene in a living cell or living beings are known as genome total, and the minimum functional unit of DNA for genetically heredity is known as gene. And genes are made of DNA, and one strand of our DNA contains many genes. All of these genes are needed to give instructions for how to make and operate all parts of our body. So now this is the session. This session has been complete, and this session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. If you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.